Welcome to The Big Word with Ngullie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ngullie. For decades since the inception in 1947, the Naga Students Federation had led some of the most catalytic social and political movements in Nagaland and neighboring states. During the recent decades, the range of their engagements has included law and order, security, political rights and accountability in governance, of course. In 2022, though, the Naga community is a deeply fractured community. Various organizations today represent a plethora of both problems and solutions. Where does the NSF stand at this point, and what is its place in the larger narrative of the Naga people in the future? We have in the studio today the president of the Naga Students Federation, Kegwayhun Tep, whom I believe will offer us a clear perspective about the NSF now and the way forward. Welcome to our show, Mr. President.
First of all, thank you, Hornbill TV, for the time.
You're most welcome and thank you.
It's very difficult for my friends to correctly pronounce my name.
Please go ahead.
But in Rengma, I'm Rengma. In Rengma dialect, we correctly pronounce as Kegwayhun Tep.
Say it again.
Kegwayhun Tep.
Kegwayhun Tep.
Yeah,
I pronounce this Kegwayhun.
Yeah, right.
I am so sorry. I apologize for that.
No
Could you
problem.
please again?
Kegwayhun.
Kegwayhun Tep.
Yeah.
What is your name mean?
It's Kawa means good, and Hu means life. So good life or good living, it is related.
Wow,
yeah.
That's a very good name.
Yes. It's
good and
quite,
life.
Yes, good. As well as my name is actually very unique. You will hardly see a name similar to my names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really thinking, like, is this a Naga name? You know, because according to the spelling, I was like Kegwayhun.
Okay.
So okay, again, please.
Kegwayhun.
Kegwayhun.
Yes.
Kegwayhun.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
if we fail to pronounce correctly, then it doesn't carry any meaning. Yes. Yes.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
right,
Kegwayhun.
Yes, right.
Thank you so much for coming to our show. Actually, we've been really lobbying for you guys, you know, because I think the NSF has been at the epicenter of a lot of movements in Nagaland since 1947 here. So, like I gave in my introduction, this is 2020. Times have changed. The political climate in India and even in the tribal communities in the Northeast, the narrative is changing. So, according to you, how do you keep update in the form of using the NSF platform to be a voice of the people? How do you keep updated with the changing times?
Basically, in the early 1940s, Naga people hardly have a student who is at the graduate level. Because there was no higher secondary or higher education, particularly in the Naga homeland, and for which any Naga youths or students who wish to pursue higher education, they usually went down to Shillong, if not Johar.
Right.
And for which few Naga students they met most probably in Shillong as well as in Johar, and they formed Naga Students Union in Shillong as well as in Johar in the early, I should say, 1939. And considering the needs that Naga students and youths should come together, should come out, should form a common platform where the students community can forge ahead, as well as to protect the identity as well as the rights and aspiration of the Naga people, and for which it gave birth. After several rounds of meetings and discussions, Naga Students Federation was formed in the year 1947 on 29th of October. And therefore, it's been, I should say, 75 glorious year, where just recently on our Foundation Day, on 29th of October, we have culminated and celebrated 75 years of our existence. In the journey, I'm sure we have fall short of lots of things. There were lots of hiccups, lots of things happened, but I should say that Naga Students Federation, ever since its inception till today, we are ensuring that particularly the students and the youths community are protected, and we are trying our best to ensure that we continue serving the interests of the Naga people.
So,
Yes.
So like those days when the NSF was first started, I think it was during a very volatile political situation,
Very
right?
much.
It was in 47, right after the independence of India.
Right.
And right after that, the Naga political movement started. During the intervening decades, the movement of the NSF was primarily political.
Right.
But now when we come here, like after 60 years,
Right.
when we talk of the NSF and its activism, it's more to do with backdoor appointments,
Right,
corruption,
right.
students' fees and tuitions.
Right.
So how does this change in the political climate and even a change in the goals of the NSF impact your moving forward? Consider that you have to engage in different levels of activism. How do you reconcile that?
By nomenclature, NSF is a student's body. However,
Right.
to clear the ground, basically Naga Students Federation was formed to protect the rights and aspiration of the Naga people. And with the change of time, as a civil society organization or as a student body, the situation has demands us to take up several issues which is confronting our Naga people. But one thing which I want to make very sure to all the viewers is, of course, as I have stated, Naga Students Federation is a students' body by nomenclature, but the founding principle and the objective behind the formation is not only confined to students' welfare activities, but to protect the rights and aspiration of the Naga people as a whole, particularly the students' community and the youths. Yes.
So now, when you say that the NSF, like it has its objective based on welfare of students and of course the academic sector, so is that limiting yourself and not, having to force yourself into issues that are not really student or academic centered, like for example politics? Is it correct for you to go out of that circle?
I cannot say that we cannot intervene in any issue.
Right.
But, as far as our objective as well as the working system of the Naga Students Federation is concerned, we never shy away to intervene as and when situation or issues is deemed fit. And accordingly, I am sure we have been intervening and we have been delivering so far. Yes.
Yeah, because the question, the reason for the question that I was asking you was that the NSF, I think they have come to be criticized for being what you call the pro-NSNIM, pro-NPMHR, So how do you think the NSF can change the perception of the people that it is pro-particular faction?
There are lots of leaders who, openly brand particularly Naga Students Federation as pro NNCNIM, or their principles are more inclined to NNCNIM or whatsoever. But what I want to make it very clear to particularly the Naga youths and students community is that basically the minds and objective of Naga Students Federation, who carries the voices and aspirations of today's and tomorrow. Our objective is to fight for Naga rights until and our objective is for Naga self-determination. So in the course of our journey, we are not inclined to any Naga national workers, or so to say NNCNIM or NNPGs. But see, in Naga people as a whole, we have lots of political parties. We have lots of leaders at the moment, but Naga Students Federation is very loud and clear when it comes to Naga political movement. All the parties have a different claim, but as far as Naga Students Federation is concerned, let me tell you, even the jurisdiction of the Naga Students Federation is for the entire Naga inhabited areas.
Right.
We never recognize artificial boundaries which is demarcated because of the formation of the Indian Union or because of any factors. So for which we always forge for unification of the Nagas, and we always ensure that Naga Students Federation stands for the entire Nagas, not only for the state of Nagaland or not only for the southern Nagas or eastern Nagas, but we always ensure that our voices is for the entire Nagas, and for which we have we have a motto for unified limb and glory of the Nagas.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think that your lack of jurisdiction to a particular state might have given rise to that perception that you belong to,
Definitely.
or you're working for a certain political organization?
See, as I have stated, whether it is the aspiration of NNCNIM or NNPGs or for that matter NNC, the voice and the objective of Naga Students Federation is very clear. We stand for unification of the Nagas.
Right.
And for when we talk about Naga political issue, we ensure that solution is for entire Nagas.
Right.
Our solution, the way we perceive and the way we think that solution is confined to this particular pocket or that particular pocket. But Naga Students Federation, ever since its establishment till today, we ensure that Naga solution is only one solution. We have only one issue, and that solution is for the entire Nagas.
Some of the issues that have plagued the NSF for a long time now, there was a time when there was this student organization called the Mon and Twinsang Student Organization.
Right.
And today it's the Eastern Naga Students Federation.
Right.
What happened?
I tried to seek advices from some of my seniors who serve the platform before they have formed or they were officially constituted today in the form of ENSF, Eastern Naga Students Federation. In fact, we are living in a very sorry state of affairs where we are all fragmented, and it is very sorry particularly for the students community like us who feels that we have to stand together. We have to be one. However, Eastern Naga Students Federation, maybe because of their own interests, or maybe because they felt the need that they have to form a union or association or a federation to protect their people, or maybe they have their own objective, because every organization or union is formed with an objective to serve its people. So I cannot grumble, or I cannot say that their walking over has demeaned the platform of NSF, but I ensure that whether they are from different platform, whether we are from different platform, we ensure that we work together and we understand one another, and we work for common good of our people.
So do you think that a section of the student units from a certain area of Nagaland breaking away greatly undermine the message of unity that we are still calling today? Do you think it undermined the situation that we are in right now, when we should actually be sticking together? Do you think the ENSF or anyone breaking away helped the situation in any way?
To be very frank, as we are all aware, we have lots of organizations and unions.
Yeah, thousands of them.
Yes, including our elders as well as including the youths like us today. We never encourage that any organization is born. However, as far as the reality, today's reality of the Naga is concerned, every one of us wants to become a leader. I think I have to comment this way, and for which, if you are not given a space to serve in one particular platform, you try to ensure that you create one platform and you want to head that organization. I think that has given rise to the birth of many organizations in our state, particularly in the Naga family. And for that matter, I am not blaming any other organization, but I think we have to able to serve under any leader, and I think if at all we have a heart to serve a people, then I think we have to able to coordinate, and we have to, I think, genuinely serve the people instead of breaking away from any organizations or forming any organizations.
You mentioned about people who never got a space to express what they want to, or to highlight their philosophy, that they could not find a space. So what they did was they went and created a platform for themselves.
Definitely.
So does it mean that the NSF was not there to give them the platform, that they had to force to create a separate platform for themselves?
Today, as we live in a democratic country, I think no one on earth can stop someone to form any organization or to form any union. It is universal. However, as far as complexity of the Naga peoples are concerned, I think we have to be able to be together and forming one organization because I have my different perspective, or
Right.
I have something different in my mind to deliver. I think that is wrong. If at all you feel that there is something very important where, say for that matter, Naga Students Federation have to intervene and have to deliver, then I think if they have a heart to serve the people, or if they have something which is very important for Naga Students Federation to deliver, then definitely our door is always open for them, and we always encourage and we are open for any constructive criticism, and we welcome anyone who comes and encourage us and who comes and correct us.
So you're basically reaching out to the groups that broke away from the NSF, right? Or?
What I can say is we have been, we are trying to ensure that though we are under, we are from different organizations,
Right.
we try to ensure that we work together cohesively, coordinating one another, and I think that is one way forward. Instead of segregating ourselves, or instead of claiming that we are superior or they are inferior or something like that, we try to ensure that we work together. I think give space one to one another, and I think for that and that is one purpose where I think though we are from different organization, or any organization is breaking away, I think we are still ensuring that common purpose is fulfilled.
Over its history, do you think that there is something wrong within the NSF, that there seem to be a lot of groups that break away, like I said, the Mon and Tuensang Students Union that turned into the Eastern Naga Students Federation, and now we have the Central Nagaland Students Association, right?
Right.
So do you think that there is something, there's a flaw in the system that force people to actually break away from the NSF? Do you think something is wrong in there?
Definitely, it is very painful to see, the fragmentation within the family of Naga Students Federation. But I am very positive that maybe for that matter, the creation of CNSA was to ensure that their cultural identity is protected as a Central Naga, and I am sure that that particular association or students body was formed to create a common platform where they can exchange ideas, or so to say they can deliver whatever issues which is confronting, particularly within the three communities. So I am very positive, because as far as the federating units and the functioning of the Naga Students Federation is concerned, the family within this CNSA is still the federating units of Naga Students Federation, and in any major important decision making, their voices are there, and they are a very important component of the Naga Students Federation. So forming a group or an association like CNSA should not be an issue. Where on the other hand, what I'm trying to say is, I think we have to be positive, because as long as they are with Naga Students Federation, they are strengthening the Naga Students Federation.
CNSA, right?
Yes, right.
So it's made up to the Ao, Lota, Sumi, Tri,
Right.
or Angami?
No, only three.
Only three.
Yes.
So isn't it curious that when the NSF was started, it was actually the Ao, Sumi, Lota, and the Angami people
Right,
that actually
right.
started the NSF.
Right.
Do you see a pattern in here?
I don't see.
You don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, it's not an issue of power or representation of certain sections of the people of the state, but it's basically about struggle in the competence of ideologies.
I think so.
Is it-
Yes.
What is the ideology of the NSF when it comes to all these organizations coming up with their own ideologies again?
When it comes to the ideology of the Naga Students Federation, I think it is very loud and clear. I think I have been repeating over again and again. And as a students body, we always discourage that any more students union is created. But unfortunately, maybe out of compulsion, CNSA must have created. But as long as they are under the Naga Students Federation, under the banner of Naga Students Federation, I think that doesn't cause any harm. What I'm trying to say is so I am very positive that CNSA must have created or was formed because they have to protect the issues which is confronting maybe particularly three communities, or to protect their brotherhood, some sort of thing. So we are very positive.
So basically what the CNSA and the ENSF is doing is they're taking up an effort, an action plan which the NSF could not take up. Is that what you mean?
No. See, I don't know how to put it, but as far as issues are concerned, as a student body, as a matured students body, be it NSF or any federating unit, we ensure that we communicate it, we discuss, we deliberate, and for which I think there is no differences of ideology. Maybe it's in some issues differences of opinion may arise,
right.
But I think that doesn't mean that we are fragmented, or I think I cannot say that the formation of CNS or the breaking away from ENSF from the Naga Students Federation, I think is not questioned. Actually, at the moment, under the constitution of Naga Students Federation, we have 17 federating units.
17.
And, yes, and we have quite a large number of subordinate units. We have a students body, Naga students body in almost all the major cities in India, as well as we have a major component even in Dimapur. Say, for instance, Dimapur Naga Students Union. All those union comes under the banner of Naga Students Federation.
Okay.
Right.
So, okay, I'm just curious about this. For example, the CNSA and the ENSF. So, are they are they affiliates, or what do you call, constituents or subordinate?
Actually,
or just they are an organization of their own.
They are the formation. They are the union of their own.
I say.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a clash of interests, right?
I cannot agree there, because as long as Naga Students Federation decision making is concerned, when it comes to CNSA, as I have stated, under the union of CNSA, we have Lotus, Aus, and Simis.
They're still there.
Yeah, and they are the major component of Naga Students Federation.
Right.
They are the federating units of Naga Students Federation, and so I think there is no clashes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, now away from the ENSF and the CNSF talks, you mentioned earlier that the objective of the ENSF was primarily for the welfare of students, and I think that will be the core philosophy even now.
I think so.
It was during the time of the former president, NSN Lothai, I think, when you look at those times and the activism that the NSF is engaged in today, do you think that somehow the NSF has walked away from that welfare path?
I cannot agree that some leaders or some past leaders have walked away from their responsibilities, or they misuse or mishandled the issue. I cannot agree there. However, with the change of leadership, our leaders have different perspective, and they have different ways and means of delivering issues. So of course, we understand the fact that many Naga leaders, including the students and youths, they always point their fingers at Naga Students Federation. However, as far as delivering on issues are concerned, I think Naga Students Federation never shy away from any issues once we pick. Especially
the illegal appointments case in that nature? Or unemployment?
Say, I cannot basically comment that we always fight or we ensure that backdoor appointment is checked. But our concern is with the change of time, we felt the need that particularly backdoor appointment has been taking place on grade 3 positions, or so to say below the level which is under the preview of Nagaland Public Service Commission, and for which we felt the need that a separate commission or board has to be constituted in order to have a common board to recruit all the, particularly the grade 3 post.
NSSB?
Yes, and for which we, while acknowledging the efforts of other unions which has initiated, and they even claim that they, because of their initiative, NSSB came into being.
Right.
And of course, I appreciate their efforts, and we acknowledge the efforts. And we are not claiming that it was only Naga Students Federation who delivered this, or I cannot say that it was only the effort of Naga Students Federation. But I think as far as the desire for the Naga youths are concerned, we really need Nagaland State Staff Selection Board. And so we started this journey from 2019.
So now I'm just curious about this NSSB.
Yes.
Let's say, I think you're aware of the numbers or number of registered unemployed youths in Nagaland, 75,000.
Right.
So now there are about 14 departments in the government of Nagaland.
Right.
So if there are 100 posts and you have 75,000 unemployed youths, out of which about 50 will be selected by the board, do you think the board is enough?
I don't know whether I can give satisfactory answer.
Please go ahead, give it a try.
But as far as job avenues or opportunities available in the market for our youths are concerned, as a Naga individual, whoever finished or completed their graduation, the only way forward for them for a living is they see themselves in the government sector.
Right.
So I think that is one stigma in our mind which is enabling us, or which is controlling us to claim that I or you or I am educated and unemployed. I think.
Right.
So for that matter, I think whether it be in the state of, I am not, I'm not claiming that we have a good governance in our state, or I'm not claiming that there is no backdoor appointment. But what I am trying to say is, I think we need right person for the right job.
Right.
Say let me cite one example. I'm not shifting the question or the answer.
Go ahead.
But one thing which I am very clear is, for instance, let me cite one example. For one department, if the human resource requirement is only 10, but they have employed more than 30-40, where their service to the people becomes a liability or becomes a burden, instead of contributing to the people, or instead of serving the people, they're become a liability or a burden to the people, or to the state. So what I want to challenge, particularly the students union, the students community and the youth, is I think it is time for us to change our outlook towards a living. I think the only avenues is not government job in our state. I think until and unless we change our mindset, I think this unemployment issues will keep coming out, and definitely no nations on earth can entirely solve the problem where all the youths can be employed. I think it will be a very difficult state of affairs. However, as far as Naga youths are concerned, we are talking about, say, 500 to 600 number of posts which will be recruited through tomorrow's exam, whereas the applicants comes up to more than 46,000, and we are very sorry to see the ratio.
Right.
However,
it's quite high.
But our concern is examination is conducted through in true and fair means, so that the right person is recruited. I think that is our only concern. The rest, I think we have to ensure that government able to create an avenue where our youths can be accommodated for their survival. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I was just thinking, it's not just the number of unemployed youths who are educated, who are fresh graduates. I think there was a time, an organization in Nagaland, I don't remember exactly who, but they have also spoken about unemployment among the higher age groups. For example, unemployment among people who are in the age group of 40 to 50. Have you ever thought about that? Will the NSSB actually be able to handle this issue?
I don't think so. Because as far as as far as the application for any government job in our state is concerned, we have an upper age limit where the criteria is fixed. So I think if one, reach certain age where you are not entitled to sit for examination, then I think he or she should look for different avenues. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'll ask you one more question, and we'll wind up our conversation with that.
Okay.
There are talks of a political solution to the Naga political issue.
Yes.
And then the elections are coming in 2023.
Right.
Where is the NSF now? Where does it stand? If actually there could be changes that could be coming in the government or in Nagaland, especially in regard to the political issue, where are you?
The aspiration of the Naga youths and students community are very loud and clear. All of us are yearning for lasting peace and solution, including our elders, including the younger generation leaders. We are all tired. But what I want to say is, we have been waiting for this long, where I think some sort of piecemeal arrangement Naga should never accept. So I cannot say that election should go ahead, or I cannot say that solution should arrive first. But as far as our Naga Students Federation is concerned, we anticipate that government of India is serious in the dialogue, and we anticipate that solution arrive as early as possible.
Right. Thank you so much for coming to our show, and next time, especially after the 2023 elections, I'm sure we'll have a lot of conversation with our community leaderships, including the NSF, and I hope that you'll be there too.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the president of the NSF, and he has been telling us about the objectives of the NSF when it first started and where it will be in the next 50-60 years. The challenges for the NSF is a lot, but then according to what the president says, they'll stick to their aims and they'll keep moving forward. This is Ngullie. See you next time.